Hey, my name is KayDee and this is my story. So growing up, I lived in a home where my mom and dad weren't together. And my grandma was the one who basically raised me. So at a young age, it was a personal preference that I lived with my grandma. Things weren't always the best with my mom. She would date men who weren't necessarily the best for her. And the men that she did date, they mutually used each other for things that they wanted. So growing up living with my grandma, she always made sure I was in church, and she always made sure that I knew who Jesus was. I never really doubted his existence, so watching my mom go through these things, I always knew that he was in them in some way. But when I was 15 at a youth conference, I decided to accept Jesus. And at that point in time, I knew that he died for my sins, which is so cool. And I knew in that moment that my relationship with God was 100% secured. Getting saved, I finally figured out what a true heart of worship is. And some people just get on stage to sing, just to sing and perform, but I get on stage and I sing to the God who's always been the constant in my life. So after I met Jesus, things never got easier. I watched my mom turn to things that she shouldn't turn to, like the abuse of still in a relationship or alcohol, or I saw her go through a time when a dark time where she contemplated suicide. And in this moment, I knew that God was trying to show me that I needed to be a light in her life. Throughout my whole life, I feel like my relationship with my mom, I've always been the adult, and that's kind of been my bond with my mom. But things never got easier outside of my family. My freshman year, I lost one of my good friends, and his name was Marcus. And my sophomore year, sitting in a life group, I remember Delmar coming in and getting me and telling me that my best friend, Katie Carter, passed away. And I was devastated. She was my person. She was the one I would go to when anything went good or when anything went bad. She knew everything that was going on in my life. I didn't get to go to her funeral. I didn't get to go to the mix that Wednesday, and that was absolutely heartbreaking. But I know that her faith was genuine, so I know that I'll see her again one day, which is so reassuring. This has given me hope, not only for Katie passing away, but God has given me hope in my whole entire life, in knowing that good things are coming even through all the bad things that are happening or that have happened. I've been adopted into a wonderful family of friends and the wonderful family of Christ, who is so loving and so nurturing. The messiness of a family doesn't describe who you are, because the messiness of my family doesn't show who I am. But showing up to a church on a Wednesday or a Sunday and knowing that I have so many people here who love me and so many people here who care for me, it's like a huge family, and that's so awesome, coming to a church where everyone's like a family and we can all worship the one God who is amazing. So take your next step, and hopefully you can come and join the great family of Christ. And that's my story.